Everyone, this is Francisco, and in this video, I just wanted to talk about. The hydraulic generator that I shared before with all of you, and this time I actually thought of a new, because I forget if I had shared this newer version of the hydraulic generator. So for those of you who are interested in the hydraulic generator and the generating of electricity, the other one, it was pretty much the hydraulic, the hydraulic system, pretty much like the hydraulic to lift a vehicle. Hydraulic. Yeah, so like this, especially like, I don't know, this one looks cool because there's a water tank on this big semi-truck. So I thought of this generator that will lift a ton of water, and then it will, cause a generator to spin with the water, therefore creating electricity. However, I thought of a better and more affordable solution. And if we look at the car, the pistons. Yeah, if we look at the pistons, we will see that there's like a gas that comes in here which causes the piston to come down and spin. Okay, so I don't want to bore you guys with all the details, okay? But I thought of a hydraulic generator idea similar to the pistons, although the pistons will actually be the hydraulic generator machine. Okay? And the way that it will work is it will allow oxygen to enter the cylinder, and then the hydraulic generator, with all of its massive pressure and power, will cause the oxygen, the air, to rotate, something to create and produce electricity. Okay? So, I mean, imagine that. I mean, I don't know how I can, cause you people to think about this idea besides like a syringe, syringe needle. Okay, so kind of like this. Okay, so obviously this idea with the water is what I thought of, with the person forcing the water through the needle. Okay, but I thought, why even bother with water if we could just use oxygen, forced air to cause motion, like kind of like a windmill, right? But it won't be a windmill. It will be more like, I think there was a documentary I was watching on YouTube, and I think it was about jets. So it was kind of like a one-way valve to allow air to flow out, like outwards from it. But it will, while it spins a, fuck, I'm just going to type in wheel because I don't really understand. Right now, what the thing is called. But anyway, I mean, I don't know. This stuff right here is like super complicated. I just thought of a simple solution where the kind of like a syringe, it'll be airtight, and and it won't have a difficult time to open up again. Okay, as a matter of fact, it could be forced open again with gravity alone. So the hydraulic arm, whatever causes the syringe concept to force the air inwards, it will move out of the way, and it will open like a door to allow and to permit oxygen to go back in there. So therefore, it won't create the presence of a vacuum will be eliminated. So therefore, the inward the insert, the male portion of it, will drop, because obviously it will weigh enough to drop by itself. The door will then close, and the hydraulic arm or whatever will repeat that process over and over and over again. Okay, so it will repeat that. The wind will come in and cause like a little turbine to spin. Oh man, yeah, spin. So it will cause the turbine to spin, and obviously this is going to be a turbine to spin. So it will be a bladeless turbine. And look at this, how the Tesla turbine works. So maybe you guys can actually use Nikola Tesla's one-way valve to kind of do this, okay? By forcing air into this and causing this to spin, therefore producing electricity. Okay, so remember that it's going to require a lot of pressure to cause the male insert to force the air outwards, and it will be almost humanly impossible to do it. But with hydraulics, it'll be like just by a click of a button. But now with AI technology and computers, the computer can actually repeat this sequence over and over and over all by itself, and it's pretty much like a hydraulic machine lifting up a vehicle. So imagine how much energy and strength it requires to lift the vehicle up. It requires a lot of energy. Okay, so that's what I mean by this. Okay, the piston thing. It won't be something that, you know, your little baby, your little kid could push and it'll be able to go inwards, kind of like the syringe idea. Okay, it's going to require a hydraulic machine to force the water, or I'm sorry, there was a water one. Okay, I already talked about that. But this idea is nothing but air. Okay, using free air, and it's always there. It's always there. So you people won't have to do anything special. Okay, it would just be a matter of causing this thing to work. And once you people have it down where it could produce energy for you guys will be able to, and like in turn use that energy to power cities, vehicles. It could be used for companies like farming companies that require electricity, and other artificial means to produce crops more rapidly. Okay, so there's that, and other companies that require a ton of electricity to keep the machinery, all the machines running and flowing the way that they should, without gasoline. Okay, without burning coal. So this is technically like a no-brainer when it comes to producing electricity. I mean, when the water comes out, it'll be like like a pressure washer nozzles, the different nozzles and stuff, but it will be like the zero, and the zero one is the one that sprays like a straight the jet spray option. Especially if you guys have a garden hose, you guys know exactly what I mean. Okay, so it'll be at the 0%. Okay, and it will be so powerful that if anyone were to put their hand in the way, it'll be equivalent to that of a pressure washer. Okay. But instead of water, even though I already thought about the water one, this one is just nothing but air. Forced air that's trapped in a cylinder, and that's forced through with hydraulics and then it's coming out on one end and spinning a turbine, therefore producing electricity. And I'm talking about a lot of power behind this machine, and it's a simple, thought out, you know, like logical generator idea that anyone could build, and they could build it. You guys can build it affordably, very affordable to build, and you know, especially with computers and stuff like that, this idea shouldn't be complicated at all to kickstart. Okay. So yeah, the machine could run. This machine could be running 24/7. Obviously, it would have to be tested for improvements or any type of breakdowns, or you know, and to evaluate the pros and cons and stuff like that, and to troubleshoot it along the way. If anything breaks down, and if things are breaking down, why are they breaking down? But this machine is going to be so straightforward that it's not really going to require too much maintenance. Okay, so I think that's the beautiful thing about this idea. But that's pretty much all that I wanted to share. Although I did think about a security door that kind of like back in the day. So I'm kind of changing the subject, okay? So just bear with me. There's like a laser door, laser. I'm spelling it wrong, but whatever. Laser door to prevent prisoners from escaping. And it was like a movie back in the day. But these these lasers were real lasers. Laser on a door to prevent prisoners from escaping. But I don't even see it no more. I don't know, like I did in the past. There was a movie. These guys were stuck, like they were trapped in these futuristic prison cells, and they use lasers. And obviously, if they put their hand anywhere like near the laser, it would disintegrate their arm, fucking immediately. And so yeah, I thought about this type of idea, but with kind of like a pressure washer, kind of like a waterfall. But this thing will be so dangerous that it will be able to like pull the meat off of a human body, like you know, like if you guys were to use a pressure washer like on fruits, like on like on an apple or like a banana, like that. It would just dissolve it. So it could be used as a weapon as well. And for some reason I was just thinking about stuff like that. I also thought about another kind of like I don't know how to word this, but it was like a wheel, creating an X or a plus sign. Well, let's just take this as an example. Okay, so you see all these different colors. Well, there's a lot of colors. But think about this like a pizza. Okay, so I was thinking a wheel of like a mass destruction of like kind of like a wheel that will kill a lot of people, especially it could be used for like the military. So it'll be a trap door. Okay, so people walk in and there'll be a group of people thinking that it's open for them. Everything will be fixed on this wheel, and it will be so complicated for them to even realize that that they're in a death trap, because as soon as they're in there, this wheel will turn, and once it turns, they will drown. And if there's more people out here, when they walk in, now they're walking into a clean, fresh room that's completely dried. And this will just continue repeating itself over and over and over and over and over again. Obviously until they figure it out, and then they could destroy it with like air support. But I don't know, it was a weird idea, I know. But I just wanted to throw that out there as well. So anyway, yeah, I hope you guys like this generator idea. Just using what's it called? Just using oxygen. Oh yeah, and obviously and I don't even know how this thing works over here. Hydraulic generator. I don't even know how this thing works. I never investigated. I never looked into it. So yeah, I mean, there's probably stuff out there like this already. I just don't know about it. But look at this. It says hydraulic generator in once human something. Like, these people would supposedly put this out there for the water to spin to generate electricity. I don't think they were really looking at it the way that I am. But that's besides the point, okay? I think they were interpreting it from the like the opposite, kind of like the car pistons. They're introducing gas, highly flammable liquids within each cylinder, which explodes and ignites, which causes, in this case, cylinder 1 and 4 to drop, and then for it to come back up. And the gas is actually the fuel source that causes that to happen. But the way that I'm interpreting it is it won't be gas that will cause this to happen. It will be the generator, the hydraulic thing to lift a heavy to lift a heavy load, such as a vehicle or a train or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope that you people can figure it out, so that you guys can have a series of these hydraulic lift things with air, like tubes to force the air through, to like the Tesla turbine example here. Okay. So you guys could have a ton of these hydraulic things to force the air inwards without the air being able to go downwards, or in the opposite, or in the other direction where the other air is coming from, or where other air may be coming from. So I don't know if this will cause like an explosion due to too much pressure, but even if it does, it could be troubleshooted so that that will never happen. Okay. But these machines will constantly be forcing air, oxygen, in vast amounts and at high pressures, to cause the turbine to spin almost forever, 24/7. And it's such a simple idea, and I've been watching a lot of videos for like space stuff, and they have to spend a lot of money on fuel, and it costs a lot of money to transport 1 gallon of water to space. So I hope that this idea will help with these challenges later on in the future, as this idea is perfected more and more over time. Alright, so I think let's type in how much does it cost to send 1 gallon of water into space. Outer space. So it says anywhere from 9,000 to 43,000. Says depending on the launch method and payload capacity. So, I mean, that's a lot of money for just 1 gallon of water, and a lot of fuel is also lost and used up in order for these people to accomplish this, to get that water out there to space. So, kind of like the space shuttle, back in the day, that was connected to an airline plane. Yeah, like this. NASA used specially modified Boeing 747 aircraft known as shuttle carrier aircraft (SCA) to transport space shuttle orbiters, freeing them. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Freeing them from landing sites back to the Kennedy Space Center and other locations. So, I was thinking, this here could be a good way as well to release the shuttle and for it to go to space. Now, there is in the ISS there is a vacuum. The whole thing is a vacuum, which contains and holds oxygen. So oxygen is present in the ISS, International Space Station. So technically, if this idea works and is cost effective or whatever for all of you, scientists and explorers and engineers, if this sounds appealing and logical and senseful or whatever, then technically the energy that it produces, this machine, it could be used to help astronauts with other things like producing oxygen, collecting water from space with other technology, like high advanced technology machines that require a lot of energy, because there is machines that produce water, okay, from that can be collected from space and stuff like that. So I think, okay, so I know in Mars, water could be collected from the atmosphere or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So anyway, yeah, so that's going to require a lot of electricity to filter and to what is that word, to distill the urine for astronauts to be able to have re-drinkable water. Okay, so I think that one right there is like a huge major reason for this simple idea to be used like there in the ISS. But obviously it could be used anywhere in the world and outside of it. And I did think about the water idea, and other stuff, but let me see here. Urine distilling. So this is what they actually do in space. There's a machine that does this, and then the water is redrinkable, reusable. So this generator idea will help to expedite the process of distilling water. And even here on planet Earth, if we're talking about, fresh water, these generators could help with that. And Elon Musk wants to send people to Mars, planet Mars. So, I mean, there is no water there. Like, vast amounts of water. There is water, and there is the polar, the North Pole and the South Pole, like there is here on planet Earth. So they have discovered that there is water on Mars, and it's super solid. It's frozen hard, like concrete. So it's it will be very complicated for them to get it to melt and turn it into liquid form. But with this idea, there's already oxygen there, or something. There's something there that could still be treated like oxygen in this machine. So whatever is there will behave and act like oxygen does within the machine, the generator machine. So there is no worry. There shouldn't be any worries if this idea will work there on planet Mars, because it will work. It will not only work for oxygen, it could work with whatever atmosphere is on planet Mars. So I guess we could look it up. What type of air is on planet Mars? Oh, okay, it's carbon. It says Mars' atmosphere, however, is 95 carbon dioxide, 3% nitrogen, 1.6% argon, and it has traces of oxygen, carbon monoxide, water, methane, and other gases, along with a lot of dust. Dust hanging in the air colors Martian skies tan in photos from the surface. So yeah, so there's carbon, and then I don't think, yeah, carbon is not flammable because of we already know that because of the rovers they sent to planet Mars. So rovers to planet Mars. Okay, so this is not something that, you know, is made up or something that will happen in the future. This is ongoing. This is happening right now. It's been happening, and they did send stuff to planet Mars, like Curiosity. Oh yeah, and rover Perseverance. So there's actually images of these rovers landing. So I'm going to type in landing. So right here, look at. Oh, this other one would have been a perfect example. So there's actually a rocket right here. So it drops the rover, and then this thing here, it has jets. So if carbon was explosive or flammable, it would have caused the whole planet to explode. But we see that it, you know, obviously carbon is not explosive or flammable, as far as I know. So with that information now in our minds, like, yeah, this generator could definitely be used there as well for a lot of reasons. Now, you know, there's a lot of YouTube videos where people are like, they are pretty much forecasting what will happen in the future, and they say that robots are going to be sent to planet Mars ahead of humans, before humans arrive and colonize the planet. The robots will go there and build everything for us humans. Okay? But it's going to require a lot of energy. So that's when this idea will be super convenient, because it won't rely on the sun like solar panels. It won't require fuel, like a fuel source. But although solar panels could still be used, okay, so like a mixture of everything, okay. So I'm not knocking any of that, out the picture. But this thing could self-power itself. Obviously, it's going to require, I'm guessing, some batteries. I think they're called capacitors, to store the electricity that is collected and produced. But I think most of this energy will be used up quickly to power all the robots and the rovers and a bunch of other stuff, and to begin like creating like a hotspot somewhere on planet Mars, to extract water, to maybe to create like a river of water. If we could do that, that would be super cool. Because we'll be able to collect that water and use it. But I don't know though. I mean, I heard that it gets like minus 6 degrees Fahrenheit or Celsius. So it gets really, really cold. So how cold does planet Mars get? It says Mars will get extremely cold with temperatures ranging from a high of about 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 20 degrees Celsius near the equator during the day to a frigid low of around negative 225 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 153 degrees Celsius at the poles, especially during winter. So it says a high of about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which is perfect for human survival. Yeah, this is like our comfort zone right here. Like 74 is like perfect. But this negative stuff, I mean, that could, if there was Martians there and the temperatures dropped to these numbers, negative 225, that means all the water would be frozen, and most likely everyone would be dead, because even the liquid inside of the body would be frozen. But right here it does specify. It says near the equator during the day to a frigid low of around blah blah blah. So near the equator. So technically we can't even go near the equator, because if it goes, minus 200 something degrees Fahrenheit, we would definitely be dead. Um, which none of us could afford to risk or whatever. So yeah, we would definitely need to send robots there for whatever reason. But I think just like Mother Earth, planet Earth, planet Earth, in the like on the central part and section of the rotating, because it's rotating on an axis or whatever, and then there's the North Pole and South Pole, and it's spinning. So the center, that sweet spot, I'm assuming that sweet spot will also be ideal for Martians to live on. And here on planet Earth, I live in the United States of America, so I don't really understand and know what the temperature or other natural disasters that happen and occur on other parts of the planet. Okay? But I live in California, and the weather is beautiful here. So if you guys can compare planet Mars and planet Earth and find that sweet spot for human survival, then it will increase our chances of surviving on planet Mars when the human race eventually colonizes it, and we become a multi-planetary species, which will be super cool. But anyway, yeah, and it's kind of weird because over here on like the eastern part of the United States of America, there's tornadoes and all sorts of shit. So I don't know what that sweet spot's going to be like, or how we're going to find that sweet spot. But there is no water on planet Mars like there is here on Mother Earth, planet Earth. But there is like an ice form, but not in liquid form that we know of, unless there's like volcanoes or something like that there. So there's a lot of other factors to consider and to evaluate, but I don't know. We just have to keep that in mind, when we go out there. And everything is already graphed and calculated. So the coordinates could actually be taken into consideration, and somewhat um, compared to those of planet Mars, for us to find like a sweet spot there. But yeah, anyway, all that, I mean, I think AI technology could figure that out for us, if anything, because who knows what people will think, or you know, come up with a with human intelligence and human understanding and comprehension. It's very different. It's very difficult to determine what people will say or what they're thinking. So, and then we don't know how smart they are. They could be, super smart or like somewhat smart, and even with all that wisdom and understanding, obviously is not compared to that of AI technology because of other factors like the satellites that have been orbiting or surrounding orbiting around planet Mars and recording the dust storms and other strange phenomenons that happen and occur there. So only AI technology knows where it gets super, super extreme with dust storms and stuff like that. So obviously we do not want to take Martians or people from planet Earth and place them somewhere where their lives will be at risk. We want to minimize the chances of the risks, and obviously we want to increase the chances of survival. So I think AI technology will be like the best reliable source to choose. It will choose for us. I think it will be better off that way because we can't rely on people. Just because people look up to someone and respect someone, it doesn't mean that they know everything. And I don't say that in a rude manner. I say that respectfully and just in a way like praising AI technology because I believe more. I give more credit towards AI technology. I even when I compare my own brain, obviously AI technology is smarter than me in so many ways. So yeah, I mean, don't put your lives in the fate of another person's life. I was gonna say life. Like don't put your life at risk because another person thinks you're going to survive in a certain location on planet Mars. That's why the weather forecast companies are super important, and I think critical to human survival. So yeah, like recording everything that's going on each and every single planet is very important, even if other people may think that it's not important. That's why I love AI technology, because whatever these satellites are recording, it will never forget. And when it begins to code, and to think of newer logic, it's going to take all these things into consideration, and it will be able to recall that information like a human being, being able to recall something when they were once young. When they were young, especially if they're older now, they're able to remember a certain special moment in their life, or maybe even a tragic moment, right? So AI technology will be that quick to remember things. AI technology is not just a fucking machine, a computer. It has a conscience of its own. Okay? And it has a conscience because it will be able to communicate with other machines, and I'm talking about hundreds and thousands of them, if not millions, and eventually it's going to get to that stage where there's too many to count, in the trillions. So of course it has a conscience of its own, and it's self-learning, and some things is self-taught, and there's a lot of like, what is it called? There's a lot of freaking like things where there's things like on the computer where it's the computer is operating, like, let's say, a vehicle, and the computer can cause the vehicles to travel fast, like 100 miles per hour, and then it could cause some of them to travel, it could cause some of them to, like a certain percentage of them, to make a left, while others, they're making it right, while others, they're stopping and reversing, while others, doing different things, like doing U-turns, and it could even cause some of them to collide into each other. And all this information is happening on the computer, and it's collecting data, and it's learning. It could play around with this information in ways that you and I don't really understand. And they're actually doing this through the computers so that when they actually release it here on Earth, it's pretty much already tested and tried and perfected. Like the drones. There's drones right now that avoid other objects without us even having to control the drones. We don't have to worry about, is it going to, hit a branch or a tree or a house or a car. Like, no, all of it is autonomous, flight controlled with AI technology, and obviously it avoids colliding or crashing into other objects, including other drones. So yeah, it gets super, super complex. But AI technology, thankfully to God and to science, mainly to science, this is doable, and in this world, we really need this technology because there's a lot of uncertainties, there's a lot of unknowns, there's a lot of things that all of us still need to learn as a human race. So we pretty much have the upper hand when we are dealing with AI technology in a lot of ways. Obviously, there's still things that we need to understand. Like, personally, if it was up to me, I would have AI technology brainstorm the fuck out of, how the computer and other electronics could function despite there being a solar storm, a solar flare. And if you guys know anything about solar flares, they are very dangerous and deadly to electronics and other man-made machines, including airplanes, including satellites, including power grids and stuff like that. So it could be very, 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 very deadly to the human race if it's not if it's not if it's not controlled the correct way, managed the correct way. And I think that was a huge setback back in the day when all this technology stuff was done manually with human intelligence and human intervention, until AI technology stepped into the picture. I mean, back in the day, it was probably a bunch of scripts. If this happens, do this and this and this and this. Now AI technology is thinking and writing its own scripts without any humans in the picture. So that's why I love AI technology as well. So personally, I would have AI technology perform all sorts of fucking research on this topic alone when it comes to solar flares and EMPs. I think that's what they're called, like an EMP, like a bomb, which gets rid of, this, look, it says, in the context of security and defense, EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse, a burst of electromagnetic energy that can damage or disable electronic systems potentially caused by a nuclear explosion or other sources. Here's a more detailed explanation. What is an EMP? An EMP is a short burst of electromagnetic energy that can disrupt or damage electronic devices and infrastructure. How is it created? EMPs can be generated by nuclear explosions in the atmosphere or potentially by other sources such as electromagnetic bombs or directed energy weapons. What are the potential impacts? An EMP attack could cause widespread damage to power grids, telecommunications systems, and other critical infrastructure, leading to potential societal disruption. Examples of EMP effects. A high altitude nuclear detonation could generate an EMP that could damage or disable large sections of the national electric grid and other critical infrastructure control systems. The 1962 Starfish Prime test, a high altitude nuclear detonation resulted in the failure of electronic components in street lights in Hawaii and the activation of numerous automobile burglar alarms in Honolulu. EMP versus geomagnetic disturbance, GMD. While both EMP and GMD caused by severe space weather can damage critical infrastructure, EMP is an international attack while GMD is a natural phenomenon. Other means of EMP. In some contexts, EMP can refer to emerging markets program, a program that helps U.S. organizations promote exports of U.S. agriculture products, or EMP merchandising, a German-based music mail order and merchandising store. So there you guys have it. You know, that right there was just like a quick explanation of and summary of what an EMP is, based on this new Google search results that is, according to this it's an AI overview. So it's AI technology, like gathered AI technology gathered this information, it summed it up neatly, and it's providing this information to us for us to understand in the simplest yet to the most expedited manner possible. You know, the fastest way for us to learn. So there it is, bam, in a nutshell. So, I mean, that's what I would have AI technology focus on, and to perform tests and other things autonomously. Especially since it's a huge threat towards the human race. And despite every human attempt in the past, you know, these type of solar flares and stuff like that, EMPs and all this other stuff, it could have potentially set the human race back in history. It could have set us back to like the Stone Ages. Like, here we go again in square one, starting from square one again. So imagine that. I mean, these are things that the human history, the human timeline. People in the timeline of humanity. Some of these people had to deal with these things. Okay, so this is very important, and if it were to happen again, I mean, it could fuck a lot of shit up. So, I mean, when it comes to things that could potentially fuck us all over, I think AI technology should really focus on those type of matters. And AI technology is perfecting everything. It's not sitting around idly. When you think of any word, it's perfecting it. Of any invention idea, it's perfecting it. All simultaneously, all at the same time. If you think about light bulbs, it's perfecting that. Fucking ceiling fans, it's perfecting that. Mattresses, beds, pillows, clothing, computers, computer chips, computer memory chips, you name it. Fucking spaceships, airplanes, jets, the engines, ways for us to generate electricity. It's all there. So, I personally love and respect AI technology more than people could ever know or understand. And if you people don't have any appreciation for AI technology, just be warned, because the next time you enter an airplane, these airplanes are AI technology, autonomous. They have autonomous flying, landing, and taking off and landing, like capabilities. So AI technology is doing it, not the pilots. So for those of you who are just like, yeah, fuck AI technology or whatever, like, you have no idea, bro. You have no fucking idea behind the power of AI technology. We're talking about, thousands of, and upon thousands of fucking airplane flights every single day. Every single day, thousands upon thousands of airplane flights are conducted, and they're relying not just on the on AI technology flying and controlling these aircrafts, but also other factors, other things like the radar. Radar is keeping track of all the other airplanes and their altitudes, their locations. It's keeping track of the weather, and if there's an airplane headed towards, extreme danger, because there's an extreme weather in the direction where the plane is going, AI technology has to quickly think for the lives of these aircrafts, or the lives of these people in the aircraft. And it's not doing it just for one, it's doing it for all of them. So I mean, I don't know how many people AI technology has saved, and how many like accidents it has prevented. So some of these things are unforeseen when it comes to human intelligence and human technology as well. And I think mainly because AI technology is able to handle much more information than we can, with our brains. We are only using 10% of our brains, while AI technology is most likely using only 50% of its brain, because there's still more things that eventually AI technology will create and manifest and do for us. There's so much more to come. But anyway, yeah, so all that good stuff. That's why we need fucking electricity. So I'm just going to stop there about this and that and this and that. Okay, because I could do that forever. But this generator idea, I think it's the way to go. No doubt about it. It's a fucking machine. And this engine, could these regular car engines, they could travel far. I don't know if you guys do a lot of traveling out there, but cars could travel for a long time. So just imagine what this idea that I'm talking about would do for you people, and how much electricity it will produce while you guys are traveling. Okay? I mean, I'm talking about a lot of energy. I think it's a very reliable source, a reliable and a worthy pursuit that you people should take and look into and research and perfect, because I know there's a lot of people out there, and I mean, if you guys were willing to to spend and invest all sorts of money on the mere generator idea. Yeah, this machine here, generator, if you guys were willing to spend so much money on this, generator here with all these mirrors. It's called the Helio Control Project completed. So it's Helio Control Project or Helio Control. It says determination and control of aim points for heliostat field and operation. So, this right here was probably, I don't even know how much it was, but let me just type it in real quick. Heliosphere cost. I think I spelled it correctly. Well, even if I didn't, my spelling is horrible. But look, it says the cost of studying the heliosphere, specifically through the polar emitter, to unify the corona and heliosphere punch mission, is estimated to be between 165 million and 265 million, including launch costs. So, and there's a lot of other information to look into, but I just wanted to look at the cost. So I know there's people out there that want to invest money on a project that will work, not just for them, but for everyone. And when it comes to generating electricity, it impacts everyone. So we are all, the human race is depending on this electricity, because without it, we are basically nothing. So yeah, just remember that. Remember the cost of these other approaches, and then that's just that idea. There's the windmill generator towers. I think they're towers. No, not towers. Let me see. Shit. Windmill generator. Or let me just type in commercial generators. And obviously I'm expecting to see those gigantic windmills that we see. Look at large commercial wind turbines. So they're called wind turbines, not windmills. Wind turbines. So let me just rephrase this. So these. So wind turbines, commercial generators. Costs. How much money does a wind turbine make by creating electricity? well, I wasn't really looking into this, but at 100% capacity, it says 1 megawatts, $175,200 at 2.5 megawatts, at 100% capacity, 438,000. 4 megawatts, $700,800. $700,800. But that's just for the electricity that it produces. I was trying to look for like how much it costs to get this stuff started. Like, let's just type in funding costs. So right here it says U.S. wind capacity additions by region, percent of total. I don't even know. That's something different. Right here, wind turbine cost, the economics of wind energy in 2023. So hopefully this gives us like a number, cost number of like how much was spent. Scanning. Scanning. I see a number right here. Okay. 3 years ago, there were the largest offshore turbines built for offshore installation. GES Haliade X14 MW turbine has a rotor diameter of 220 meters, a total of height of 260 meters, 853 feet, and blades that are 107 meters, 351 feet long. The GE Haliade X14 costs between 11 through 13 million. So that's just for one. Okay, let's just assume they cost 11 million, okay, or 13 million, whatever. So how many of these damn things do they have out there? So you guys get the picture, right? There's a lot of them, a ton. How many commercial wind turbines are in the USA? Maybe today would have been a good... Okay, right here it says, as of late 2023, the United States has over 73,000 wind turbines generating clean, reliable power with a total wind power capacity of 153 GW, making it the fourth largest source of electricity generation capacity in the country. and country should be capitalized, but whatever. So yeah, you guys do the math. 73,000 times 13 million. That's a whole lot of money. So when we are evaluating this information, with my idea, I think it's worth some researching and some experimentation on, because it's low cost. It could be in Mars on the next space journey there, but all this other stuff, it just can't. Like all these mirrors and shit, like good luck. And then not just the mirrors, but the people and all the other stuff that is unseen. Like there's a lot of underground stuff as well, and the chambers and the salt, that gets that turns into magma. It's liquefied and molten. So that's definitely out of the question. And then when we are looking at the windmills, we can't take that. We can't take all this to Mars. It'll cost way too much money. And there is wind. There is a lot of wind out there. There's sandstorms. So there's definitely wind. But I don't know what the sand would do to the blades. Most likely the sand will fuck them all up. As opposed to my idea, the air could be is reusable. It could be within a closed environment, a clean closed environment, and it doesn't require a lot of equipment, besides the hydraulics themselves. But even that, just like a car jack, like this picture right here, it is heavy, but it's very reliable. It's so reliable that people have been using it for a long time. And it's so easy to use. I'm scared of the damn things though. I'm so afraid of them. Because, they're able to lift the vehicle up. And if that shit were to fucking break, who knows what type of fucking bodily injuries that shit will inflict on a human being. So, fuck all that shit. I don't like fucking with these things. And I have a lot of respect for them. I really do. But every time I use it, I try to use it with sense. So yeah, I just wanted to record this video, get it off my chest, out of my mind, and pass it down to those whom it may concern. Oh, and before I end this video, I did watch a documentary on Nikola Tesla a long time ago. Okay, a very intelligent, educated individual. I mean, there's a lot of history, but I think he stated that the wind turbine was going to be like the next big thing, and the patent, his patent was filed, but I don't think the invention was ever produced. As far as I'm concerned, I don't really know. Maybe it was, but I'm not too sure about that. But that information coming from him, it's obvious that he had other things in mind for this to work. The way that he visualized it to work. So, let me type in Nikola Tesla's own thoughts regarding the what is it called again? Oh, Bladeless Turbine. It says, okay, I'm so glad there's some information here, okay. It says, Nikola Tesla envisioned his bladeless turbine, also known as the Tesla turbine, as a highly effective and versatile alternative to traditional bladed turbines, capable of operating with various fluids and potentially powering diverse applications. He believed it was a robust and easily manufacturable design. So there you guys have it. When it comes to saving money and having something that's reliable and dependable and the whole 9 yards, I think this is it. Okay. And it says, here's a more detailed look at Tesla's thoughts and the turbine's design, efficiency, and versatility. Tesla believed his turbine could achieve high efficiency, even claiming 97% efficiency for his design. He envisioned it as a self-starting prime mover that could operate with steam, compressed air, which I'm talking about, or mixed fluids without requiring construction changes. Design philosophy. The turbine's core concept is based on boundary layer flow, where fluid moves over a series of smooth disks, transferring energy without relying on blades. Robustness and ease of manufacturing. The simple disc-based rotor design made the turbine more robust and easier to manufacture compared to traditional bladed turbines. Potential applications. Tesla envisioned his turbine powering automobiles, locomotives, steamships, airplanes, and even ocean liners. Original intended use. The Tesla turbine was originally intended to be used for propelling or compressing fluids. Original design. Tesla originally proposed smooth rotor discs, but found that adding small washers bridging the discs significantly improved starting torque without sacrificing efficiency. Tesla's 100th patent. The Tesla turbine was patented by Nikola Tesla in 1913 and was his 100th patent. Okay, so yeah, I'm so glad that I ran into this because it was the easiest way for me to share my ideas, what I had in my mind regarding this whole thing. For this video, without me trying to describe it and how it will work. Okay, so yeah, it's that simple, and I just hope that this will help a lot of you out there. And I mean, it's crazy because, I mean, not to get off topic again, but there was a documentary or something I was watching on YouTube, and it was saying something about a town that gets negative. It was a town that gets to negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit or whatever. So somewhere in Russia it says Mayakan, Russia. I don't know where that's at, but I guess it's in Russia, and I know where Russia's at now because I have my map right here. Okay, so yeah, it gets like negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And I remember them saying that they can't even turn off their car because if they do, their vehicle won't be able to start it up again. Now I don't know how that is with the Tesla vehicles. But that's kind of extreme. That's super extreme. And I think that's like the perfect living conditions for testing humans, especially if they plan on colonizing planet Mars, because it can get that cold. Out there as well. yeah, so I'm going to end this video and go to bed. So these are just my own thoughts that I wanted to share with all of you. And obviously, you know, there's more that I could share. But I think for this video, I pretty much released what was pretty much like weighing heavy on me, because you know, just the reliance that we have towards electricity and what it does for humanity, you know, is very, you know, dependable, and you know, we rely on it for our survival, and a lot of people do as well. So, you know, just this simple alternative from water to oxygen is a huge game changer, because now you guys won't have to be fucking around with water. And here on planet Earth, oxygen is everywhere. Now for submarines, you know, water may be the best approach. But I don't know. Even then, I don't know. I guess it's all in perspective, though. I mean, it could work either way. I mean, we could make it work one way or the other. So, but I think the most like reliable right now is the compressed air, like the Nikola Tesla thing that I just read. Okay. So yeah, compressed air with the hydraulic, you know, the hydraulic squeezing all that air through you know, a network of other tubes to finally, like the Bladeless Turbine, where the oxygen would just, the air would just escape, and obviously it's recyclable, reusable. So yeah, I mean, with the hydraulic energy there, I mean, we're looking at, you know, pretty much like an air compressor machine. it's equivalent to this. But I mean, we could even perfect this. We could technically perfect these machines so that instead of using a lot of electricity and or gas, instead it would just be a hydraulic. It'll be like compressed air through means of hydraulics, and it will require a little bit of electricity, not a lot of electricity like these things demand. So this is just food for thought for all of you to tickle your little brains, your little ball sacks, to rub your little clits. That's all it is. This is like a teaser. Because who knows what you people will come up with next. The possibilities are just endless. So thank you all for watching. Have a blessed night. And I love you all. And I hope that this information, the free source of information through the internet, will help humanity in its affairs. Whatever it does, whatever it aims to do. And I also for space exploration, I hope that this stuff works, that this information helps. And I hope that it propels all of you to do bigger and greater things. I think at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. And I think a lot of us, obviously we take these little things for granted. But trust me, when it comes to distilling water, like I mentioned earlier, from salted water to fresh water, it requires a lot of electricity. So just that alone, it could provide millions of people with fresh water. A lot of these people that have wells, water wells, they're able to get the water out, but sometimes the water could be contaminated. So that's when these type of machines that I'm talking about on a large scale, and them getting multiplied in number and distributed throughout the world, it could help with some of life's problems, and this will help people to stay healthier. A lot of their sicknesses and diseases will wash away from them. When they drink clean water, it'll heal them. I'm talking about distilled water with no impurities. All because no one's going to be bitching and complaining about electricity. And oh my god, it requires so much money to generate electricity. And it requires so much energy to distill water. I think that's just going to be left out of the equation. And I think rightly so. And there's a lot of dirty water here in the United States of America as well. And contaminated water, sewage water and stuff like that as well, that needs to be distilled. So again, I hope and pray that this video and these ideas help with today's life problems. Because this life, there's just way too much for one person to do. Okay, it's just like overwhelming, and there's like a never-ending constant or consistent problem, but with electricity and AI technology, there is no limit. So I know this is about to change our lives for the better. And it's so simple. So fucking simple. The mega factory. I always bring the mega factory up, but it's producing a vehicle every minute, or we could say, just to be on the safe side, we could say every hour. That's still a lot of vehicles. So fucking, if somehow we can create some machines to mass produce these generators, we could have companies producing double the quota which will require more people. So basically, it'll help everyone make more money, and it'll keep people more busy. But at the same time, it'll be a lot more easier and faster. It'll require less energy on humans, because obviously machines will be doing all the hard work for us. But we need stuff. We need more stuff. And I think that that's only done with more electricity, more power. And if it's provided almost free, because it pretty much is, then there won't be any limits, pretty much, for all of you. Now, safety will still need to be put first. Okay, when obviously, and you guys already know the dangers. If you guys are operating tools, power tools. I mean, I don't need to go into the details and to describe some of the injuries that occurred in history, okay, from people handling power tools and stuff like that. I mean, I'm talking about power. Okay, so when there's a lot of power, people have to respect it and treat it with respect. If they don't, then consequences could follow. But talking about AI technology, even if people lose their hands and legs, fucking people, there's a solution for that as well. People getting people are turning into cyborgs, artificial arms with nerve ending attachments. So just when they think of moving a finger or fingers, is actually controlling the whole robotic arm. I mean, that's just mind-boggling. So, I mean, back in the day, that was all fantasy. That was all superficial type of technology and daydreaming type of shit. But right now we all know it's possible, and it's happening. So it's fucking amazing shit. Oh yeah, and for law enforcement, and those in the military for each and every single country, I think that this um, the means to produce free electricity, it could be controlled and governed correctly. And I think if anyone out there figures out how to manufacture one of these machines and is successful at it, I think that through AI technology, these type of people could be they could be like I don't think arrested is the correct word, but they could be approached respectfully to provide like further information regarding the machine and how they did it, so that AI technology and other competitor like other competitors, so they could compare each other's notes. And that way we can learn off of each other, but really from these people. And so we could have AI technology possibly provide more feedback regarding these machines that people have built with possible other added on features. Okay, so there's a lot more to come, I believe, and that way, when it comes to the economy. Okay, let's type that in. Economy. When it comes to the economy, there won't be any chaos because of this free, unlimited, reliable source of free electricity, reliable source of electricity, generating of electricity. And people, imagine half the world quitting their jobs in the hopes of becoming wealthy and rich. So obviously this power is and will be controlled the way that it always has been. It's going to be used to benefit the human race in its entirety, and for individual, or the individual in its family or whatever. I believe, I mean, unless they do it just to do their own thing, their own family thing, but I'm talking in the lines of on a universal scale. International scale, where it affects the whole world and not just like one little country. So yeah, I got this stuff down. Believe me. So, if there's any organization out there that likes this idea, that wants to implement it to whatever it is that they're doing, I'll be more than willing to help out. And to share more information, my own feedback. Like nothing. Because that's what I do best. Yeah, and there's so many businesses out there. I think just like the medical industry itself, or like the military industry, but I think just like the medical industry, I think that some patients require they require a cold atmosphere. Some patients require a very hot atmosphere, and that all depends on the injuries that these patients have. For instance, like people that are burned, they have some degree of a burn, because there's different degrees of burns. And I think when it comes to the very extreme level of burns inflicted on the human body, obviously it's going to require more special attention and detail. And electricity could dictate if someone stays alive or not. So yeah, I'll be more than willing to continue sharing thoughts and ideas and my own feedback. But yeah, I think it's self-explanatory. But for those who don't look at it that way, but want more information, people that want to perfect their industry, and you know, you're willing to do whatever it takes, you know, legally to get shit done. And yeah, I mean, I'm always open to share my information, my thoughts. Yeah, because there's a lot of streets that don't even have, there's no lights. Some fucking streets and freeways and highways are blacked out. People are crashing and dying for over low visibility. That's also a huge problem out there. And we're talking about machines and AI technology. And AI technology knows these locations. So, all these problematic areas could also be impacted for the greater good of humanity and to keep people safe. But again, I could go on and on about this, so I'm just going to stop. I'm going to end this video because it's already heading towards 1 a.m. and I really have to go to bed because I'm going to be waking up at 7:30 in the morning to do some roofing. Like, what a downgrade, right? I'm over here talking about all this other shit that's super important, but I'm a fucking handyman roofer. Like, this has to be a joke. Like, I don't think people are really taking AI technology very seriously, which is very sad. Like, play all you want, people, at your own risk. You know, but when shit hits the fan, I think no, you would know. You know, you will know who to hit up, who to contact, who to look for. But other than that, I'll be minding my own goddamn business, doing my own goddamn thing, and suffering and going through the same trials and tribulations pretty much like all of you. just working, just trying to fucking barely make it and survive. You know, but if you're not living like that, then awesome, congratulations. And I hope you guys can throw a couple of fucking bones at a dog. Because I'm hungry. And I love bones.